Ready for the F1?
Oh yeah, I am.
Hi.
What's up, Victor?
Not much. Just relaxing.
Welcome, Victor. It's first time you're joining Track Help.
Yeah, it is.
Amazing, amazing. Where are you joining from?
I'm from Serbia.
Serbia. That's awesome. I think you're the second person from Serbia to join. We had Andre join some months back. Welcome, Victor. What's up, Arib? Welcome to Track Help. You got a mic, Arib? It'd be good if you can connect a mic, Arib. Unmute yourself. So, Victor, how did you find out about Track Help and KTips as well?
I think it was on Instagram.
It was through Instagram. Amazing. It's funny you say that.
And Cameron that. He was racing against you, I believe.
Oh, awesome! So you followed from Cameron's channel.
Yeah.
That's excellent. That was a very nice video he put together. It was a long video narrating how a typical 24-hour race goes. So you've basically come across who? KTips recently.
What? I didn't understand the question.
I was just saying you've come across KTips recently. Have you seen any Track Help sessions before? Last week?
No, I didn't. No, this is my first time.
Excellent. But you've been watching on Instagram Live, maybe YouTube Live as well. You caught some of them. Excellent. Yeah. Did you submit any footage you wanted me to review for the session, or any track maps?
Yeah, I posted here on the KTips Academy.
Amazing. I'm just trying to locate that real quick. Which post did you mention it on?
It was on a Track Help sub or what? And wait.
The pinned one? Trying to locate that. Arib, you'll need a mic, bro, for us to go through the track.
I think the title is
it's going to be difficult to go through it. We need to have a discussion. I believe you're joining from a laptop or a phone. You can just unmute yourself. We'll definitely go through whatever you got. If not, I'm afraid we won't be able to go through it. Need to hear your side of the story. Yeah. So, Victor.
Yeah.
I'm not able to locate your track map.
Omar, it's not in this chat of this session. It's down below.
Gotcha. It's
Dobre večer, Victor.
Yeah, dobro večer.
Which session was it, Marcel? Last week or the week?
No, it's not in the sessions. It's in the.
I gotcha. It's something completely different. I gotcha. Yeah. It's a separate post. Yeah. That's awesome. That's amazing. You know what? We're gonna put that up in the background. I'm gonna download the latest file that you've got. So you went driving today, then, Victor?
Yeah, it was a few days ago, actually. Yeah.
Amazing. What we're gonna do? Let's get started with Victor's one. Marcel, did you have any footage you wanted to go over? I believe you posted something, Marcel.
I was talking to my mute button.
Sorry. Did you have some footage, Marcel?
Yes, I did. In this Track Help chat.
Excellent.
The first one, Swallow.
Yep. I'm gonna go through Victor's, then we'll come to yours hopefully after that.
I hope so. I've got until 9 because then I switch my eyes to my other screen.
Is that 45 minutes from now?
Almost 50, yeah.
Awesome. We'll definitely go through it. Don't worry. Victor, this is Motordrome in Serbia, I believe.
Yeah. It's in Kula. The city is called Kula, and it's there.
How often do you go driving here?
Every time I can, basically.
Excellent.
pretty far away, but this is the closest track I live to. But yeah,
So basically,
like
every
monthly
week,
2 times, I think.
couple of times, every other week. Yep.
Yeah.
Have you tried
Yeah.
all the different conditions? Rain, snow, dry. Have you done every?
No, they don't actually let us race or go laps in the rain.
Really, really. Okay, understood. Well, that's surprising because a lot of tracks, especially in Europe, run it year round. I guess
They close in November. So yeah.
they close. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Understood. So, how long have you been driving at this track for? Has it been a few years?
I think it's like 2 years.
Excellent. So you go for practice sessions, or is there like a local competition, like a league or something that they have at this track?
Yeah, I went to the competitions and they absolutely destroyed me.
Okay, but you kept on practicing.
Yeah. I'm practicing still. So now mostly I just do hot laps.
Amazing. Do you normally just go alone then, or you try and go with some friends?
Sometimes alone, but I like to go with friends as well.
Excellent, excellent. What I'm going to do is actually go over to today's session, and we've got it on. I've just downloaded that link. Let's just go for it over here. I want to go through this track actually corner by corner. Before we do that, you very nicely shared a track map for us.
Yeah.
And by the looks of this, it's a typical outdoor track with number of technical corners. Now, looking at the overall layout, did you break it down into S1, S2 until S7? Is this your writing?
No. I found this on their Instagram
This is just a
page.
stock image. Okay, yeah. So what they're trying to do over here is split the track into different portions. What I like to do is split it up into three sectors, as opposed to 7 different parts. Maybe S refers to corner number and something like that. Regardless, let's split it up into is
so
corner
the
numbers.
first one is the S1.
Gotcha. Basically, we're going in this direction. We've got turn 1, which is our double apex corner. It's almost a double hairpin. Coming up to turn 2, a right-hander. And then we go into this really tricky bit where it goes...
that is really tricky. I think I lose the most time there.
It looks awkward, these corners. Right into a left.
It drives awkward as well.
Right. And then we go to the end of the lap, mini chicane, right, left, if it were. And it looks like it's majority flat through the back end of the lap. Good chance to catch some speed. Into almost a heavy braking point, into the right, left. And then we've completed our lap. So when you started at the track, what timings were you getting? Lap times?
The first time it was 42.5, but the last chicane was different. So S7 was different. It was like it was straight.
Oh, okay. So it was shorter like that.
Yeah, but then when they updated the track, I went 41 point something like that. 41.57, something like that.
Amazing. If we split the lap up into sectors, in my yellow line, let me just interpret sector 1. Sector 1 we can say is this portion over here until turn 3. Then in blue we can say this is sector 2, the technical stuff. So the right, left goes down into turn 5. And then you can say the final sector, we could put that in pink, is this flat out back end of the lap. What's your strong point? What sort of parts are you looking to work on?
What's my strongest?
Yeah, if we take yellow, blue, and pink, what would you say is the strong part?
I think the yellow one. Yellow
is easy. Yep.
Blue is definitely my weakest.
It looks the most challenging, and then pink is straightforward.
Pink is all right, but then the last braking point, the heavy braking point, it's pretty awkward.
Let's check a lap. So this is basically from today, then, I guess.
Yeah.
Amazing. The weather doesn't look too great. I mean, it's winter, so we can't expect much.
Yeah.
But let's basically go through a lap over here. So what we've got is turn one. And turn one, because you're carrying a lot of speed on entry, is there any specific point where you try to brake at?
There is a white line near,
Mhm.
like here. I think
Awesome.
you can see it. And just before that or on it, I brake.
So we're looking for a white line just one more time. Just talk us through it over here. So across the line,
There
and
is the
I
white
think
line.
you can see
Yeah.
it very,
That, yeah.
yeah, it's not too clear on the video, but in real life, I'm sure you can see this strip over here.
Yes.
You're trying to get on the brakes into the corner. I can see left foot over here. What kind of apex are you able to take for the first corner?
I think the late ape or middle.
Yeah, mid to
middle,
late apex. It's a double apex corner. So you're hitting the first part. We come out wide for the exit to set up
Yeah.
for the second part. I assume this is all flat. Is this flat out
Yes,
now?
that's full throttle. Yes.
Amazing. And then we've got this second apex over here, which
Yeah, there I leave some space. Yeah.
yeah, you don't have to go as close because you want to open up the corner again on exit. Now we're coming towards the end of sector one. Head one
Yes.
breaking point. It's all about placement of the kart. It's important to know whenever you have a track, identify the track limits. So here, sometimes it'll be the grass, sometimes it will be the curbs, different things like that. So that's the limit of where to go.
Yeah.
And then you've got a brief straight where you can put your foot down.
Here I let off the throttle a bit, and then
Awesome. Is that on entry of the corner or at the apex you're sort of lifting? Where's the lifting point for this?
I think the entry of the corner.
Somewhere here, you'd say?
Yeah, maybe you can see it on my foot where I lift.
I'm going to try and replay that real quick because that's interesting, right? Yep, just about here.
Yeah.
So you can see in relation to the apex, trying to get it done beforehand. That's nice. What I like is you're lifting and turning, so you'll get good rotation.
Yeah.
And then just before the apex, you're putting your foot back down.
Yes.
That's awesome. Carrying that, building that speed back up. Mid apex, you can say. How are these curbs, by the way?
They are pretty high. So
I was going to say these are.
They unsettle the kart when I go on them.
Yeah, they're quite strict track limits. Then you can say you don't want to touch those.
Yeah.
Perfect. So you just want to go as close to them as possible. Don't touch them, of course. What I like on the exit of this turn is you're using all of the. One more time, just scroll back. So entry, you're using most of the track, as you can see on the left side. And then once again on the exit, right up to the outside patch.
Yes.
What we want to do now is prepare for sector 2. Where is the breaking point over here?
I think just about there.
Yeah.
Just
is
about
there
there.
A clear reference for it, you'd say? Maybe where the grass is or?
After this white line, yeah.
Yeah, excellent. Yeah. Breaking into the corner. What kind of apex are you going for over here?
Well, I'm intentionally missing this one so I can go a bit tighter on this one, but I leave some space still.
Awesome. Let's see how this flows. So this is the tricky sector. One more time. Braking. Not too close for the first one. Get nice and tight for the second one. And then
here I'm also
the
lifting.
cart to the left. Bit of a lift through the second part, you're saying? Okay.
Yes.
So brake over here, back on the gas, and then lift, and then back on the gas again for that. Awesome.
Yes.
It's interesting to observe the overhead shot once again, because you're trying to do something like this. So what we've got is a early brake, you can say, and then you're trying to get back on the gas early.
I'm blipping the throttle, like.
Okay, so you're not 100%
lifting, yeah, because I can't do full throttle because the kart will just slide.
Right, noted. So in terms of the line, you're trying to go shallow over there. Then how about on entry of this tight corner? Is this a brake or a lift that you're trying to do?
It's a lift, but then throttle.
Okay. So there's no brakes.
The
it's just lift and then get back to the inside over here. Okay, interesting. So what we can do is just redraw that. We'll put a dotted line this time. So it's a lift, get back on the throttle, and then a lift again early. Understandable, it's a tight corner, then back on the gas. What you're trying to do is set up on the right-hand side of the track.
Yes.
And then this corner, you're saying you have to do a lift for. Understandable.
Yes,
Perfect.
this is really tricky. Like I'm lifting on the black. The black.
Somewhere, somewhere here in the middle.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Mid apex, something like that.
So basically, it's full gas all the way until the apex there that you're lifting. Cool. And then you're coming back out wide. What I like is the line, because technically this is almost it's a double hairpin of some sorts, because it goes for the first part over here. I'll put that in blue actually, so it's easier to see. First part is here, and then this is the second part. Whenever we have a double hairpin sequence, we always try to get the braking done only in the first part. And because the second part, because we braked over here, now our speed is low, so we can afford to just do the rest of it without having to brake again. Sometimes if the corners are tight, you'll have to lift over here, you'll have to lift over here. Most important thing to know and try to experiment, especially in these karts that you're driving, is actually where we're lifting and where we're putting the gas. Be observant on the sound of the engine. Always try to keep the revs as high as possible.
Yeah.
And an easy way to do that is whether you're braking or lifting, try to do that in advance of the corner. So for example, here you're braking early. Well, maybe a bit of feathering the throttle, as you said, on entry.
Yes.
Lift again is early. I like how you're doing that over here. That's fine. Then you can get back on the gas before the apex of powering out the corner. Just over here, it'll be interesting if you can experiment maybe trying a slightly wider line. If we take this line in isolation. So what we can do is exit slightly wider. And what we can try next time is from the outside, immediately do your lift early. So this time we're going to be coming off the gas before the apex. What this will do is sacrificing a bit of time on the corner entry, but then because you've lifted already, this mid part of the corner, you can keep your foot pinned to the gas. You can apply the gas again, try and get a better exit out of here. And especially in rental cars like this, it's good to try that out, because the moment we carry speed into the corner and then we start lifting mid corner where the apex is, we'll get a dip in revs mid corner, and then it takes time to build out. So what we try and do is get the lifting done early or braking done early, and then just power through the corner, similar to what you're doing on the previous turns. That's something you can experiment. You know, if we're trying to find an extra 10th or 2 over here, could work or not. End of the sector. So this is like end of sector 2 going on to sector 3. We've got the chicane portion coming up. Talk me through this part now. Is this a break that we're coming up to braking point?
I just lift the throttle again, like a slightly.
Boom.
Like
a slight lift.
Here, I think, somewhere like there.
Mid corner, bit of a lift, and then
full throttle.
Full throttle. It looks wide enough that you can basically just get away with a lift. Have you tried taking this corner flat before?
Yes, but then the kart slides a bit.
You're getting sliding, right.
Yes.
It's always good to try to find the limit, and the limit is found especially with sliding. So the moment you're over driving and you're slipping out a lot, then definitely there's a bit of time to be on. I think here, again, similar to what you're doing, you're trying to lift before this apex of the turn. Just try to power through the corners.
Yes.
Keep that up. That looks good. It's all about keeping the momentum high now. So we're at the back end of the track, using up the track width on the right, taking a short path to the left. That's awesome. So once again, although you're full speed, it's about where you position the kart. So keep this up, because the line you're taking here from the outside back to the inside and then back out wide again, you're able to build that speed up quickly.
Yeah.
Coming on to the tricky part now. So I thought you did this quite well. How much are you actually braking, and where are you braking for this chicane? That's
This
right.
is actually a hard brake, like just after the barriers.
This
the left
this barrier.
Yeah.
Ah, okay. So boom, just on the brakes
Yeah.
before this first part. That's
But
awesome.
I do like a bit of trail braking.
Yeah, trail braking, interesting.
Yeah. And then
And
full
then
throttle, like,
full throttle out of there.
Yeah. yes.
The line, it looks well. The track looks slightly wider than it does in real life than on the track map, because here on the overhead shot it looks quite tight. But the barriers have been shifted slightly, and if you look at the real life perspective, I think you're able to set yourself up to be closer to the right hand side. The reason why we just want to be ever so close to the right initially is to set up the left.
Yes.
So from the right, you can just flick it to the left, very similar to what you're doing over here. And as you said, get on the gas as soon as possible. So that means get your braking done early. Just one more time, these barriers, I'd encourage you to keep that up, keep braking where you are.
Yeah.
Maybe use a bit more of the track on the right and then flick the cart to the left, powering out the corner. It's a very, very subtle thing you can do on your line. Quickly going to ask about body position. Are you leaning at all in any of these corners, shifting your body weight?
Yeah. Especially in the tricky part.
I was going to say, because as we come towards sector 2,
Here I'm leaning out.
Here you're leaning out. Perfect. I was just going to say, lean out over here. That should help with some rotation. And especially here, what I would do is implement an earlier lift. So try and lift early. Also have a slightly wider entry. And then lean out at the same time.
Yeah.
Lean out, sharp turn. So what this does, it rotates the car nicely. You'll get a dip in speed because you've lifted off the gas. But then the rest of the corner, you can just focus on getting close to the inside apex like you're over here and being on the gas 100%.
Yeah.
And this rest of the lap, it'll depend kart to kart now. I mean, you're taking kart number 4 here. Have you tried any other karts before? Maybe
I've tried all of them.
You've tried all. Is this the fastest?
It always depends because there are quite frequent races and always changes which one is the fastest. But I think this one was the best because the track owner was driving it before.
Noted. It's good to try different karts, but generally, faster the kart, more of the track you want to use. Go all the way up to corner, the entry of the corner, let's say where the grass is and things. If this was a slower kart, for example, you could just afford to take a tighter line. No need to go all the way out because you've got less speed and you can cover less meters like that. But the faster karts use all of the track. It's quite a narrow outdoor track anyway. So really, you're on a really good path. I like the driving style. You're very, very smooth. And now it's just about experimenting small things. What was the best time here? 39 in this session?
No, this was 40.5.
40.5. Okay. It'll be interesting to redo and maybe try out this new approach for this left-hander, slightly wider entry, early lift, lean out, get on the gas as soon as possible after. And then going back to the track map one more time, you're solid through these corners. I'd keep this up. And even for the latter part, that looks absolutely great. Try something new out in turn 4 and let me know how that goes, hopefully.
Yeah.
When are you going to the track next
week?
You're going next week?
Yeah.
So you're saying you normally just go alone? Or is it off-peak times that you go when there's normally not many drivers on track?
Yeah, well, there are not many drivers on this track, really.
There's not that many. Because I was saying, if you can go when there's, some other karts on track who've laid some grip down, there's rubber on the track, that can help with getting a bit more grip. And, maybe going flat out in some corners where you'd lift otherwise.
Yeah, that's when I went like 40.1 or 40.0. That is my best time on the track.
Excellent.
But that was just after a race.
Try out some different karts and try out this new line. And let's see some footage hopefully next time when you when you get back out there. It'll be interesting how low we can get.
Yeah.
Was there anything else before we move on to the next driver?
No, nothing. I think this will help me.
It's been a pleasure, Victor. Looking forward to how you get on, and looking forward to having you again on Track Help as well with some more footage.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much for help.
It's a pleasure. You can stay on this live meeting, or you can follow on the live stream.
Yeah. I think I will stay just a bit.
Excellent. What we're going to do, guys, is we're going to just take a quick check of comments. I know we had Noam in the comments join. Can you admit me? What's up, Noam? I just got you in the meet now. Welcome to Track Help.
Thank you.
And we've got a few new drivers we've got somebody from Mitcham, that's Lewis. We've got Kimbanzia from South Africa and Nua from Helsinki. So perfect. We've admitted all you guys to the academy. What we're going to do, guys, is for time, we're going to quickly go on to Marcel because you've got the F1 to watch. Is that right?
Yes, please.
How are Ferrari going to do today? That's the question.
I promised myself Sainz will win because
Excellent.
Lando and Max will kick each other out in the first corner.
We'll be watching eagerly. Now, tell me, Marcel, about this track that you've mentioned. So this is Kart Centrum's Wall. Is that how you pronounce it?
Zwolle, but you came really close, so no worries about that.
Zwolle.
My English is worse than yours, so
I need to improve my Dutch.
Oh, good luck with that. I don't know the track. As you know, I drive in Eefde.
Okay. Yes.
But this is also a 35 minutes drive. And Eefde is closing in December and January up until half February. So we wanted to go on outside karting. So I don't know the track and I don't know the lines. So this is totally new. And I don't think this example is the best driver, but he is not a newbie.
No, this is some clear footage. That's all we need of the track, really. And
yeah, and I did send a picture of the Google Maps, but that is not accurate anymore. They changed it this summer, so I sent in a new picture in the chat.
Understood. I'm gonna open that up actually. Chat on Academy.
Yes.
Awesome.
In the Track Help announcement.
Yeah, got that over here. So I'm just I've pulled that up here. Perfect. What we're gonna do is take a look at the track map real quick because that will make more sense when we go over to the footage. And if you look at the track map itself, what you'll understand is it's a lot more. I'd say the corners are similar to your current track where it's lots of hairpins.
Yeah,
but
it is.
How tight some of them are, and also this last sector is almost like a triple hairpin sequence.
Yeah, that last sector is the new part. It was straight before that.
Yeah, you can even tell the outline over here. It used to be like that. It's a nice portion they put. The problem with this sector, it's gonna be slow speed. It's gonna feel like the engine is bogging down a lot, and that's because you're just going left, right, left, right, left. Not to worry, because you can pick up some good speed as we go through the lap. We've got turn 1, which looks pretty quick. It looks like on this layout, they cut you off, so you have to go right again. So it's similar to a Victor's track. We got a double apex. For
yeah, I did notice that as well, yes.
Just in reverse. This time we're going right. Then we obviously lead on to a typical hairpin. This is a long hairpin. Whenever you look at the overhead shot, observe how long the inside curve is. So you can see, you can clearly identify early apex, middle apex, and late apex here. We got another double apex turn coming up, which is a left into a right into a right, and then we've got the hairpin turn again. This looks tighter and probably slower speed as well. Yeah. You can see the tightness over here because we don't have that long curve. Another double right. So that's a trend you can even see from the overhead shot. Double right, double right, double right. And then we've got, of course, our triple hairpin, we can call that. See, whenever you're tackling a new track, take it sector by sector, and you decide the sector. So, for example, it's best to split it into thirds. We can say sector 1 can be until this hairpin. We can say that sector 2 will be this middle portion where we have the double rights and then our hairpin over here. And then you can say sector 3 is the final portion. Now, what you'll find immediately when you do your first few laps is some corners are going to feel easier than the others. Just by observing this, I think you can be quite confident in the first couple of sectors. Third sector looks quite challenging, but what you want to do then is things that you feel are going well. Let's say the line in sector 1's well for you. Keep doing that in the following sessions. But the things that are tricky, then you work on those generally in isolation. And that's what we want to hopefully review in some footage over here. How often are you going to be going then to this
That
track?
will be weekly again.
It'll be weekly. Okay, excellent.
Yeah, if it's snowing or the track is frozen, they will close it.
Okay.
AV is open during rain, and I don't like rain, but a wet track I don't mind. So
Yeah. I mean, we all love the kind of weather that's in the background over here. This is a clean lap, actually. We're gonna hopefully get. This was uploaded in September. If it's 7/9, that's excellent. So he got quite a nice a nice session here. We'll just go through a lap as he's overtaken pretty much everyone. What we're trying to observe on the onboard footage is how tight the track is, where the different apex points are, what kinds of curbs they've got. These seem quite aggressive, hard looking, and how the track sort of flows. If we listen to the sound of his engine as well,
his tires.
And his tires. Is he sliding along? These are all easy cues you can be observant of. And just going through the first couple of sectors then one more time. So out the final corner, let's just listen to the sound of the engine. Speed is picking up. Bit of a lift or tap of the brake through there. You had to slow down, building the speed back up before tapping the brake once again. Medium speed hairpin, that is. Speed drops over here. You can't really build it back up. If you notice, the distance between the exit of this corner and then the hairpin is very short compared to that previous section we were on. It's all about placement of the cart over here, I'd say. Now,
I feel that the next corner where you was can be done flat out if your traction is good, if your grip is good.
That's a very good observation, because the kind of line that this driver is taking over here is quite a tight line. He's compromising himself.
Yeah, absolutely.
Widen it up, and because your revs are already low from here, you can probably get away with a wide entry to cut across the track. Just to listen to the sound of the engine through this final sector. Yeah. Here it's really working down. And it's a lot of turning left, right. But it's a really nice layout. This looks very, very satisfying. As we go through the next lap, entry, we should always try to be nice and wide. With a double apex corner, experiment. Some laps try to hit both of them. Other laps skip the first one and prioritize the second one. So
yeah, a bit like Victor did.
Yeah, exactly. We've got lots of similarities between that last review we did with Victor and this track. So what that allows you to do, if you go and try to skip the inside curb for this corner, then you can carry a bit more speed. But then that means you have to be ready for quite a hard braking on entry for the second part. Play around with that. The most important thing is to test out what the track limits are. Can I ride some of the curb? I don't know. This looks quite high and offsetting, but try it out in real time. It's interesting. Should you go all the way back out wide and then come back across the track? Play around with it. Some laps go wide and feel if it's worth going out there, or just stay in the middle and look ahead to the next corner. Whenever we're preparing for a medium speed corner like this, generally be wide on your entry, similar to what the driver is doing over here. It looks like either a tap of the brakes or a brief lift can suffice for this corner. What we want to try to do, regardless if it's a brake or a lift, try to do that somewhere around here. So basically where we are in relation. Latest I'd do about here, because we want to try to get the lifting or braking done well before the turn to power through the corner. There's not much runoff on exit. If you look at this, there's even tires coming out on your face. So you'll clip the apex and then boom, you've got all these tires there. So don't be too comfortable with getting out nice and wide. Just be mindful that these are your limits. You immediately have to prepare to go to the left for the next set of double right-hand sequence. And it's interesting, the driver on this video, he's opted to skip the first part. So you can see he leaves a bit of a gap to the inside. And then he'll go closer for the second part. So that's a decent attempt. Honestly, this looks about right because he's having a wide entry, maybe a brief lift if you need for the inside part. Prioritize the second part. Now, because we have a shorter run to the next hairpin turn, let's set our sights either middle or to the right. I'd actually go towards the right-hand side over here because we want to try and open up this corner as much as possible. Reason you want to open up that corner is going back to your track map. The time between this point and this point is not going to be that much. So coming down here, maybe skip the first part, hit the second part late, and then stay on the right-hand side, something like that.
Yeah.
And driver on the video, he's again gone for a tighter line, or in the middle this time. So he's having to turn a lot, brake a lot, and then he's missing that apex. It's important you try to have a wide entry, whether it's a brief lift or a tap of the brakes for rotation. Do that nice and early. Get as close. Yeah. Tell me.
Maybe you do remember even. We have a long chicane, a left-right corner, and you taught me to do exactly what you're telling me now is stay on the left side, short tap, go to the left, because the second one is more important.
Yeah.
I had a feeling this one looks the same for that part, but I'm not sure.
This
one,
part,
yeah.
basically?
Yeah.
Okay. In terms of don't go for this one, go for the second one, you're saying?
No, I'm not familiar with the track. Maybe no, this one.
Yes.
Wide entry, late brake, and hard turn in.
That's it. Just by the looks of it, because it's a lot tighter, and you might need that for rotation. If you compare,
I think I will hit. I think I will hit the curb.
Yeah, if you look at this corner, it's a lot wider, and we don't need to be so aggressive. But this turn, just for getting the kart rotated, we can try to be a bit more aggressive. Again, play around. You might not even have to brake. An early lift can be good. Lean out, sharp turn, and then you're on your way again. The exit over here. Yeah.
Sorry, I have my hopes up because this is very technical.
Yeah.
And no real long straights. And when I gain distance on people they are driving before me, it's in the corners and not on the straights. For obvious reasons, of course. But honestly, I think I can do better here than on Eva, maybe.
Yeah, and you'll have more grip. That's one advantage. And as opposed to other drivers, who'll have to be braking a lot simply because they're carrying a bit more speed on entry of corners. You can be a bit more constant and just go for lift and maybe tighter line or wider lines on certain corners. I'd honestly compete against yourself though, in terms of is it 2 months, right? You're gonna plan to drive there?
Yeah, more or less.
Yeah. From the first day till the end of the 2 months, track your progress, keep a record of your timings,
Oh,
and
absolutely. Yeah.
individually try to implement something step by step. Just coming to the back end of the lap now, because we're coming to the tricky stuff now. And the reason why it becomes difficult is because of the types of hairpins we're going to encounter. Before that, we've got the final double right sequence. Here, it looks like, yeah, I would, again, not prioritize the first part just to have more momentum on entry for the second apex, but make sure you close the distance to this part. Reason you want to close the distance to the second apex is because you'll be on the right hand side of the track, and then you can drive towards the next part in a straight line as possible. It's very important to take the shortest path over here, so make sure we're getting close to this apex on the right, as opposed to doing similar to what the guy's doing in the video. He's going from the middle, then he's going to have to go to the left, and then all of his momentum is limited. Play around with the curbs. Can you, jump over these? Can you shortcut them? And in real life, the distance looks a lot shorter to the upcoming corner, which is over here, than it does on the track map. So on the track map, it looks like from here to here to here, these are your 3 points. It's actually quite short as well on the track map. When it's a triple hairpin corner, you got to think about, how can I be fast over here, right? Basically,
Yeah,
how can I be fast coming out of this corner? So that will decide what line we take for this turn, and this turn. How can we be fast over here? Well, we can do something like this. So take a typical approach where it's a wide entry for the first hairpin. We're going for a sharp late turn in, so we can stay on the right-hand side of the track. I know it's our left now, but technically on the POV shot, it'd be your right-hand side. When you're on the right-hand side of the track, you can flick the kart to the left, sharp late turn in again to take a late apex, and now you end up on the left-hand side of the track. Notice how we're swinging from one hairpin to the other. The final hairpin now, because we're already on the left-hand side of the track, we can go deep into the corner, sharp turning. Notice how I'm skipping the first part of the curve, but really going for the latter part. Again, a late apex. Reason we do a late apex is the blue dot is my first apex, and then the target apex for the next corner is over here. And what that allows us to do is probably drive it in as straight line as possible. And now from this part onwards, it looks like you have, once again, another straight line opportunity. So we'll connect the dots again. And then that will take you onto the back end of the lap, just like this. So it's all about going back to the hairpins now. Over here, wide entry, sharp late turn, stay on the outside for the next corner. Wide entry, sharp late turn, stay on the outside for this corner. And then you can set yourself up to take the shorter path for the latter part of the lap. On the actual video, let's see how it looks, because again, we don't have much space. It's quite a tight track. Wide entry, sharp turn. You can easily identify what an early apex is, which will be over here, what a mid apex is, which is here, and then the late apex, which you preferably want to go for. Try and go for a sharp late turn, and so you can end up on this right-hand side of the track. The reason we want to do that is to set up for this left. Now, if you actually look at these corners, it's interesting. The line the driver's taking over here is the shortest path. So what he's trying to do is go diagonal. But what happens is you get to the apex first, but it's here on exit, you're going to lose all of that momentum and revs. Compared to somebody who took a late apex, they stayed wide and then set themselves up to cut across the track and accelerate through the corner. So by this line, you get to the apex first. Okay, but it's on the exit. Who's going to go faster? It's going to be the driver who undercuts, who switchbacks on you. You want to be, as we discussed on entry for the final hairpin turn, similar to where this driver is on the outside. It's a long curb. You can see the curb starts all the way over here.
Yeah.
So we don't want to get involved in that. We don't want to entertain that just yet. Stay wide, go deep into the corner, and you can see this is the mid apex. and then the late apex is what we want to hit. So really try to utilize that mid or outside part of the track. It depends then if there's somebody behind you, and then you try to take the wide line, they're just going to go on the inside. And then for the qualifying lap, where there's no one behind you, you got space, go wide, as we said, cut across at the last moment, and you can see the straight line opportunity we've got from this point to the next apex. Once you can do that, you'll be on the right hand side of the track, cut across to the left, and if you pause it just at the freeze frame over here, there's another straight line opportunity. So it's all about placement of the kart here. And then final corner, try to get close to the curb, back out wide to finish your lap, which is where the start line is here. So basically, at this track, the final sector, if you don't get the first part right, everything else is going to be compromised.
Yes.
So make sure we're set up wide over here for a sharp late turn. And I think that's a solid debrief of the track before you head there for the first time.
Yeah, I'm used to Saudis with the 390 cc's, and this track has 270s, so that will be different, to say the least.
It's going to be a different experience, but
yeah.
Be open-minded, be willing to battle against yourself. What I would recommend, since we're on the topic of this, is you might want to consider taking on the level 1 go-kart training program that we've got. Just to give you an overview of what that is. It's perfect for anyone who's learning a new track or going to their existing track. Here you'll get more personalized help and private help with me. Every week we'll have a coaching session, and we'll systematically show you a way to get your fastest lap at that track. So that's something that you can look into if you're going to a new track and you want to learn it, or you're struggling to improve your timings at your current track. Was there anything else, Marcel, before we let you go for the F1?
I've got 5 minutes and 25 seconds, I see, if you count that.
I'm surprised you don't watch Martin's grid walk with all the interviews.
No.
You know, when I used to be on top of every F1 session, that was when, you know, there was actual championship fight. I'd be watching the practice, the qualifying, the grid walks.
I did watch the qualifying, and it ended 1 o'clock at night. So
yeah, because the America time zone is different. Yeah, by many hours.
So for me, it's a quite short night, coming night, because normally I go to bed in about 30 minutes, but they start in about 5. So no, that's all. Thank you, of course. Again.
Let me know how it goes, and if you got some footage as well you'd like to share,
let
me know. Even from your son's point of view, because I know he'll be doing some driving as well.
Yeah.
And let me know how you get on. That's going to be an exciting challenge.
Yeah, it will be in the week of Christmas. We start there. Yeah.
Super. Well, Marcel, you can stay on the live, or you can catch up. On the live stream. Hopefully, it's been a pleasure as always.
I'm on the live stream all the time. So
it's been a pleasure as always. All right, we're going to take some questions from the live chat before we go on to the new drivers who've joined. We've got on YouTube. I'm new to karting, and I've been attending training. I've read your ebook and notice explain grabbing your steering wheel at 3.9 or 10.2. My instructor said if you hold it at this point, it will limit my movement on sharp turns, like hairpin turns. Interesting point. Now remember, what we're explaining with 9.3 and 10.2 is the go-to hand position for anyone getting started in karting. Now, the moment you start going lower, let's say 8.4, yeah, you're going to have a bit more flexibility on corner entry. However, that also causes a lot more oversteer. If you do 9.3 and 10.2 correctly, where you're doing the push-pull technique, you're actually using your body weight, you're leaning, you won't even need to apply that much input. And that's the whole point. Less input we can put, the easier it is going to be to turn the cart. We're trying to turn the cart with our body and the pedals, of course. More you press the brakes, more the cart's going to rotate. So in effect, your hand position then, barring it's not too low, shouldn't make a difference. And in fact, it will benefit you. What's up, Arib? Welcome to Track Help.
Hi,
How are you, Arib?
good.
Where are you joining us from? Where are you joining us from?
Um,
Can you hear me? Hello? Hello? I think
can
you're
hear
cutting
you,
out.
so I don't know.
I think it's him. It's not you.
Awesome. Arib, let me know once you've fixed your mic. We can go through it. What's up, Saad, in the meantime?
Hey, how are you?
Welcome back, Saad.
Yeah,
How have you been?
I've been doing pretty well actually. Yeah, fine.
You've been doing any racing this week?
I did just some rental with my friend Reda. He was here last time. I did some
Mm-hmm.
because I finally got a rear spoiler, so my helmet doesn't look like an egg anymore.
It's a array you've got, right?
Yeah.
Nice. Did it make any difference?
Yeah, I did like 10 horsepower.
Awesome. And this is at which track again in Morocco?
It's just my local track. It's like 5 minutes away. It's called the Cindy Bed. It's where I got my
Cindy Bed.
profile picture from, so it's like blue.
Ah, okay. So it's not the
BJ
yeah, it's not
It's not
BJ.
that one.
Right. Understood. Have you got any footage for today you wanted to go through?
I just wanted to ask you a question.
Go for it. Yeah.
So I'm thinking about selling my GoPro and getting a CAN box,
Mhm.
the V4 Pro, and I wanted your opinion on that.
Wow. So you're gonna sell a GoPro to get a cam box?
Yeah,
I would not recommend that.
actually.
Actually wouldn't, because the stability, number one, is very bad. The mounting, number two, is very poor. In my experience, the Velcro that they give you, or that sticky pad, it just comes
Mhm.
off. And number three is the quality. The sharpness is just not on par with GoPro. GoPro is the best sharpness and quality you'll find across Insta, DJI, I'd say. But then field of view, if you're looking for wideness, you can get a lot more with like a 360 Insta and DJI have good ones. But Cambox is always ranked at the worst. I mean, what I'll do is I'll share some raw files with you. I'll share a file of me driving with the Cambox at this indoor track, driving with the 360, and then driving with the GoPro, and you'll see how the quality just and stabilization just improves each time.
Yeah, I'd really appreciate that. Because
I'm a, like I wouldn't. That's my experience. I wouldn't sell your GoPro. I'd keep your GoPro and buy the Cambox, but otherwise you'd be stuck with a
yeah, I
poor
see.
camera.
All right, thank you.
No worries at all. All right, Arib. Okay, I've just discovered the chat on my side was off. There's a whole load of messages that you've been sending actually from the Google chat. Excellent. So you're joining from Malaysia. You're going to Shah Alam. You know Shah Alam, I visited in 2023 August, just over a year ago. Amazing track. You know what? Let's go through some footage of that, which I've got, and we'll definitely go through. So since you're joining from Malaysia, what I would recommend for future sessions, since we're going to go over it now anyway, is join on Saturday. So Saturday it's a early morning session for European viewers, but it'd probably be afternoon or evening time for you in Malaysia. So that'll be more suitable. We'll definitely get through that for you. And just before we do that, we've got Rami. What's up, Rami? Welcome back.
Hi.
How are you, Rami?
Good.
I saw your comment on TikTok, and I
Yeah.
was happy to reach out. How has your racing been?
No racing for around a month now.
Okay, you haven't found a track yet?
Almost all of them have maintenance or
Mm,
just they're just timing is weird since now is like I have lots of studies, lots of exams. So
yes.
they only let like people like I have to be more than 14 to be able to play to like ride with others. But like here and the courts are not as powerful. They're like 9 horsepower. In Lebanon, we have with the like they're 13 and 15 somehow.
Mhm.
I don't know. Yeah, I wanted to ask you, do you know
Tell
how to
me.
strengthen the neck?
Neck. Wow. There's a YouTube video I'm gonna send to you right now. It's funny. I was literally just uh going over videos about that. Let me send that in the chat right now. You see, with the neck, it's a tricky exercise because number one, you want safety, and
Yeah.
the things that you see in like the F1 drivers doing, where they've got this harness over their
Yeah.
neck, is probably the best way you can do it because that's very direct. It simulates almost real life. You obviously got to get somebody to do the resistance for you, or you can attach it to a wall and do it like that. Where's this video? I was literally watching it last night. So
Yeah,
there's
I've
this
been
guy. Mm,
like stretching my neck, like doing like I'm looking left to right, look
mm.
down and up. So
I
I'm not
put it
sure.
in the live chat over here. This guy posted this video 5 years ago. How to build a thicker neck, simple science-based training. But yeah, he's got about 5 million views.
Hi.
And he's what's up, Arib? I can hear you now. Arib, I'm gonna come to you in just a moment. I'm just gonna come to you in a moment. I'm just finishing off with Rami. We're gonna go over Shalom for you.
Okay.
So Rami, go onto this video. They give you a list of
Yeah.
exercises you can do from home.
Yeah.
Number one, prioritizing a good warm-up and then being safe.
Yeah.
But just read some of the comments first because some people made some good points. Because the neck is a very sensitive area, so you want to do things like neck
Yeah.
curls and put weights and things.
Like if
If
you
you
like train
overdo
it
that,
wrong, it could like
yeah, if you
break.
overdo that with the weight and things, and you're going for you're not focusing on technique and you're just trying to pile on as much weight as possible, you can actually strain the back of the neck, and then it has implications for your spine, and then wow, it gets very complicated.
I'm
So
just like stretching my neck a bit and then
mm,
get asked for like someone just to push it with like full power.
Yeah.
My friends always say that they can't really push my neck. It's very powerful, but I don't really think that.
check out this video. They give you some really nice
Yeah.
home exercises to do for your neck,
Yeah.
and that's just what you want. Anything else before we move on to the next driver? Excellent.
No.
Before we leave,
Just a quick question.
yes, tell me.
Would you support an F1?
In F1, I support Vettel. So now I don't have a driver. Who should I support? Alonso? Yeah, that's why I don't follow F1 anymore. Vettel left, huh? It's
Yeah.
difficult to. You see, what I want is a championship fight. So I'm supporting Norris because he's the only one who can technically fight Verstappen for the title.
But it's gonna be very tight.
No, I don't think it's possible this year. I'm afraid.
It's
Don't think it's possible.
maybe next year.
We've got an update from Marcel. Leclerc is up to fourth to first after the first corner. That's excellent. We've got to
I
catch
have
up.
to go watch that F1 back.
Take care. Take care. All right. Before we go on to Arib and Noam, do you have some footage you wanted to go over?
No, I don't have.
Excellent. Feel free to stay on the meet as we're going to go over some footage for Arib. And we got a message on YouTube chat. I wasn't here for the past few minutes. Did you see my question? Yep. If you scroll back 5 minutes, 7 minutes, you'll see I've responded to your question. Noam, go ahead.
Yeah, I did have some footage, but I can wait.
Go for it. In the meantime, share a YouTube link so we can go over it as soon as we finish with Arib.
All right, I'll just put it in the chat in here.
Awesome. All right, Arib. So I didn't know you were following from Malaysia.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've been to Malaysia many times. That's actually where I did Formula 4. Have you heard of the F4 Southeast Asia Championship?
Yeah.
That their headquarters were in Malaysia, and wonderful place, great karting tracks. And I know they've just opened a new track. Have you seen it? It's a big outdoor one. I forgot the name.
LYL karting circuit.
That's it. I'm just trying to pull up a post because a friend of mine sent it to me a few weeks back, and it looked incredible. Have you visited that track?
No.
Just to show the viewers what we're talking about. We got some footage. Let's try and go for it. So this is apparently the biggest outdoor track in Malaysia. Is that right?
Yeah, I think so.
That's amazing. LYL. There's not much. There's decent footage. Let's just quickly show everyone what we're talking about. You guys will probably see a reel from Instagram. Beautiful track, and it's got a really nice backdrop, as you can see here. How far do you live from this track, LYL?
Around wait, I check.
Because Malaysia is a big place.
Three hours from
3 hours. Oh, okay. Maybe sometime on the weekend in the future, you have to do a trip. But 3 hours one way and then 3 hours back, that's going to take you a whole day up. I'd still say it's worth it. If you look at this footage, it's beautiful track to visit. Because the main thing is going now, you have brand new karts, brand new track. This is as fast as it's probably going to be for a while. Tell me about Shah Alam. So Shah Alam's your local track, right?
yes.
Amazing. How long have you been going to Shah Alam for?
No. I just want to know how the racing are because next year I join the race.
You're joining a race. Okay. So how often do you go to the track? How many times? Do you go every week, every month?
Everyone.
You go every month.
Yeah.
Which karts do you drive when you go there?
A regular one.
The regular one. I'm going to actually show you some footage from here now. If my hard drive will, I think this was it. Yeah, this was the session. Let's just share my screen. Shah Alam is one of the most impressive tracks within the city. So firstly, the backdrop, you have to say, because middle of the city, and what you'll notice is very wide track. What's this stadium? Is it a sports stadium, soccer stadium?
Yes.
Amazing. I always thought that looked really nice on video. So basically, this is the start. And if we go over the line itself, this is me during my second session. So I'd followed one of the regular drivers.
Omar, you mute. Omar, you mute the voice.
Sorry, the mic was muted. Can you hear me? Thank you so much. Thank you so much for clarifying. Going back, turn one. So this is where the lap starts. And turn one, take it flat out. You can go full speed over here. Reason is very wide. On the corner entry, try to be on the left-hand side. And we want to look at the middle over here. When we look at the middle, then we can go slightly towards the right. and leave a little bit of a space before the first hairpin. So from the inside, we can go back out wide. And now what you'll notice, it's a brake and a turn. The brake and turn should be done well before the corner, very early. What we want to try to do, slow the kart down quickly and get back onto the gas as soon as possible. Let's go to a faster lap. I believe we've got just over here. So again, one more time. Turn one, brake, turn, back on the gas. Try and get as close as possible to the inside apex. It's a very wide track, so we need to be on the gas as much as possible. Coming up to the middle part of the track now. Here we want to enter in the middle. If you look at my location, it's not too close to the inside. It's not too close to the outside. It's actually in the middle because it's a very wide track. We don't want to waste meters by going wide. Stay in the middle. Let's see where the braking point or lifting point is. It's just a tap of the brakes. One more time. Enter the corner from the middle. And what you'll notice to get rotation, tap of the brakes, turn in, control that oversteer. You can see bringing the steering wheel back to neutral position. A bit too much oversteer there, I'd say. And now we're set up for the chicane. Now, this chicane is crazy because you want to take the shortest path possible and you actually want to ride this inside curb. These tires, sometimes they move to the right. What you'll notice is you can be nice and aggressive, go over this curb, and just on the entry of the corner, try to be slightly wide. Remember, this is the beginning of the corner. This is the middle of the corner, and that's the latter part of the corner. So don't go here. Try to focus on mid to late apex. You can do that with a wide entry, as I said. Flick the kart to the left. Try and get relatively close. Come back out wide to the right-hand side. You can see again how wide the track is. We don't want to waste unnecessary meters. So what we're going to do now is just stay in the middle of the track. This is for the back end. We've now got the fast, flat-out right-hander, which is where no brake, 100% on the gas, smooth turn. Just watch my steering wheel, keeping it nice and tight, coming as close as possible to the inside curb, and then preparing for a wide entry. We want to do a wide entry over here because it's a hairpin, the first of two hairpins. Watch my left foot. As we get close to the curb over here on the left side, boom, I'm pressing the brakes. Again, I'm pressing the brakes early in the corner. Where's my pen gone to? Here's my pen. Pressing the brakes early in the corner just as the curb starts. That's my apex. Sharp turn-in. Get a bit of rotation. Try and get close to the apex. Too much oversteer on that occasion. Come back out wide. Second hairpin over here. Not as much braking is needed. Simply sharp initial turn. Tap of the brakes this time. Wide entry. Cut to the inside. You can see how close we get to the apex. Wide exit again to the right-hand side of the track. Final sector. Keep the kart to the right-hand side of the track. Reduce the meters. This is a good chance to overtake, slipstream somebody as well. I believe this is either the current start finish or the old start finish. I'm not entirely sure. Into a double hairpin. This is actually it's a triple hairpin, believe it or not. Very similar to what we discussed with Marcel earlier. Triple hairpin, number one, is decided by the first portion. The first part, wide entry, early brake. We're going for a late apex. Sharp turn-in, head to the middle, back out wide. Preparing for the second hairpin now. Wide entry, sharp turn-in, try and get close to the apex. Final hairpin on this occasion because it's such a wide track. We don't have to go so far wide. We can actually afford to take it back in the middle and reduce the meters. Stay to the right-hand side of the track. Use the track on exit over here, 2 wheels over, that's legal. And then all the way up for a fast lap like that. So the key points for Ashar Alam is it's a wide track. There's no need to use all of it, especially on corner entries. Just make sure you're not braking too late. Make sure you're not sliding too much. Whether you're going to brake or lift, make sure you do that very much early in the corner. This track is actually an owner kart track. They even rent those 2-stroke karts at the faster ones. So you've got to understand that the lines you take through this turn should be ever so slightly tighter than normal. Always listen to the sound of your engine. Make sure you're keeping your revs high. Any other questions?
Yeah.
Tell me.
Sorry, my English is not too good.
No worries. Take your time. I can understand you clearly. Don't worry.
I want to buy a new helmet, but I don't know, a cheap helmet.
Helmet, great question. Do you have any shop there who sell helmets? Like a motorbike shop or something?
Yes.
Check out some options there, especially for the type of karting you're doing. You don't need something so expensive. So when you look at helmets on a karting shop, you're going to have all sorts of these. What I would do is only focus on these expensive ones if you're looking to, number one, do karting seriously and look into owner karting at some stage. Other than that, go for something like this, which is a Sparko. Again, it's lightweight. You can use it in karting, in cars. The design is simple. You got good airflow. Sparko do one. OMP also do one. I'm trying to bring, yeah, there we go. This is the OMP one. A couple of drivers have these. These are made by dedicated karting manufacturers. Otherwise, simply just go for a motorcycle helmet. You know, if you're looking for a cheap one, motorcycle helmet probably can get found for how many? $50. You can see this one over here. That's a bargain. That's a really good price. And these will last, you know, at least a year. So either look locally or go online on Amazon, and you can find a good deal like that. Any other questions?
No.
It's been a pleasure, Arif. When are you going to the track next?
I plan next week.
Next week, amazing. So watch this video back before you go, just to refresh your mind next week. Let me know how you get on with your timing, yeah? Awesome. It's been a pleasure, Arif. You can stay on the live meeting or you can watch on the live stream. We're going to go ahead to the next driver now. And we've got Shayam. What's up, Shayam? Welcome back.
All right, thank you.
Take care. Take care, Arif.
Hey, I'm doing well.
What's
How
up,
are you?
Shayam? Welcome back. It's been a long time.
I know.
You are our representative from Canada, and now we've had a couple more drivers join as well, who've moved over to Canada just the past few months. Yeah, for karting. I believe there was somebody from Toronto, somebody near Montreal. Where are you based?
So I'm in Durham region, which is maybe 30, maybe 40 minutes from Toronto.
Ah, okay. So in that area, are there any good outdoor tracks?
Yeah, so so about 30 minutes from where I am, there's 2 tracks.
Yeah.
One is like Goodwood. The other one is Mosport, which is they used to host the F1 race in Canada. I think in the 70s. And then there's one in Hamilton, Ontario, which is maybe about 2 hours away, but a bit closer to Toronto. And
Amazing.
that's another great track.
Goodwood is the one that we reviewed, remember, some time back?
Yeah, that's the one that I race at.
Amazing, amazing. So there's somebody called Saad on the academy. I believe his username is Mazan, but he was looking for a track nearby. How far is that? Goodwood from Toronto, you'd say?
So from Toronto, I'd say it's about an hour.
Okay, an hour. No, not bad, not bad. Because he's limited to K1 speed. So he was getting disheartened because it's indoor electric and K1 speed, you do it a few times and then you want to move on kind of thing.
Yeah, so I'd say for if you're in Toronto, either Goodwood or the one in Hamilton, it's called Canadian Mini Indy.
Amazing.
And they actually have a great owner kart program as well. Like they have probably one of the best teams in Canada for Briggs racing.
Wow. So there's a good community there then. There's some
It's
serious
very,
drivers.
very, very strong. I haven't raced there,
Yeah.
but I visited the facility, like met with the team owner, everything, and it's great.
Amazing. Yeah, send Marzan a message if you can, because we were discussing this exact thing last week with somebody else who was from Canada as well. But yeah, it'll be good if you can just advise him, because he was quite disappointed that there's lack of outdoor tracks and things. I said no, I know there's some good places, but it's a good thing you reminded us today.
So what's his username?
I believe it's Marzan.
How do you spell that?
So it's gonna be Marzenn. Marzan actually is Marzenn.
So I'm not sure how to search up on.
Basically, if you go to members, you see the top tab called members. Yeah. Click on that and then click search for Marzan. And then you should see his
Marzen.
Marzenn. One E.
Okay, found it.
Awesome. Yeah, just say, look, you were inquiring last week about some tracks, and I recommend Goodwood, things like that. That'll be a good thing. Much appreciated, Shyam. Did you have any footage you wanted to go over today?
Yeah, so I just sent a link in the Google Meet chat.
Amazing. What I'm going to do is just take a look for that in the Google Meet. Okay, gotcha. I've located that from. Perfect, beautiful. What I'm going to do, I'm going to go over Noam, and then I'm going to come back to you.
Sure.
So we can go over it. Hang on in there. Noam, I've got a YouTube link from your side. It's just asking to accept cookies or something like that. Let's see. It's a playlist I've got over here. Which video was it on the playlist, Noam?
Doesn't really matter, to be honest. Just any.
Okay, any one of those. Awesome. Give me 1 second, Noam, because we've had Jeremy join. What's up, Jeremy? Welcome back. How are you, Jeremy? Hope you can hear us. If not, no worries. I'm just going to refer to a couple of questions we got in the chat over here. Yeah, I heard the explanation. Thanks for that. I was already trying to apply slip angle. It's absolutely amazing for sharp hairpin turns, absolutely. And without lifting the gas pedal or braking a lot, it didn't improve my lap time. Obviously needs more practice. Absolutely. Well, if I understood correctly, would you recommend GoPro? And if not something that expensive, what other camera would be best after that? GoPros, yeah. You see, with GoPro, if you buy it new, you're gonna have to pay the full price and all that. I mean, it's great. It's got good features and all. You can pick up good secondhand deals on Facebook Marketplace for, 50% less than new. So I'd always look out on Facebook Marketplace, number one. And these are people who've used it a few times for filming, and then it just sits in their cupboard. So they just want to get rid of it. Otherwise, I'd go for DJI. That's similarly priced, but see what you can get on the secondhand market. Otherwise, the cheapest option would be It's a replica of GoPros. It's called an action camera. An action cameras go for brand new half the price. Of course, you're not going to get features like GPS and hyper stabilization and 8K and 5K and all this. Really, you don't need that. As long as you can do up to 4K, I mean that's quite nice, especially when you watch your footage back. 1440p is probably the limit. 1080 looks a bit grainy and things nowadays. Apart from that, then look into Insta as well, Insta 360. The V2 version, I believe, which is a couple of years old now, that's really gone down in price. And yeah, other than that, I think you should be on your way. So absolutely go for a GoPro to record your footage. We got Manav in the chat as well. He's asking, are you coming to the 12-hour race? On standby. It can be a last minute entry. If I'm going to be there, I'm going to be messaging you, Manav. We're going to meet up hopefully, and it'll be nice to meet your team. Noam, let's go to your playlist. Noam, this is from. Just remind me which track.
Race Hall in Denmark.
That's
Copenhagen.
it, Race Hall. That's it. How's Hassan doing?
Pretty well, I think. I saw him today. We had practice this morning.
Amazing. And how did that go?
Bit chaotic. With a lot of new drivers
right.
were on the team. They moved up from we have like Junior 1, Junior 2, and the Elite Series. Like we have a lot of different teams in the club, and a lot of new drivers kind of moved up the order. So it was a bit chaotic today, but.
So that's nice. You got like a progression, like a level 1, level 2, and then Elite, you'd say?
Yeah, kinda. It's called the Elite.
And how does it work going from Junior 1 all the way to Elite? What do you have to do? How many sessions do you have to race at? Kind of thing.
Your trainer kind of just, when you're good enough, there's, I think we're about 500 to 700 people in the club, and there's like 15 people in the Elite, so it's not that many.
Okay. And does the trainer sort of do work individually with you? I mean, similar to what we're seeing in the.
Yeah, this was a private training.
Okay, this is private training. But normally, how does it work with the trainer, with a group?
We have a briefing and a debriefing. So a 20-minute briefing before we get on track.
Nice.
Just basically explaining what we're gonna work on today, everybody. And then we go practice, and then a debrief and talk about how it went.
Amazing. And everyone is giving their feedback of their karts and maybe what happened in the session and things like that, right?
Yes.
So what's the difference between Junior 1 and Junior 2?
Skill level, honestly.
Okay, just faster drivers, basically.
Yeah.
What about the actual driving on track and maybe the exercises you do? Is that also different?
I don't know, because I've only driven on Junior 2.
Okay, so you were immediately put in Junior 2.
No, I've been there, how long? Like 1.5 years now, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But the first time I was there, I only was in Junior 1 for 1 session, and then they moved me up. So I don't really remember what we did.
Right. The reason I'm asking you is because this sounds very similar to the academy that we have where I drive at Lusail. And you have different levels. They run it year round. If you do well in the first group, you show good discipline, good speed, you can be promoted to the next group. And it's very similar. We do a briefing beforehand, we do the on-track driving, then we do a post-session debrief as well. What about Elite then? What's different about the Elites?
Well, those are the top drivers. I'm actually I'm driving there in January. Then I'm moving
Amazing.
up. So I'm
and
gonna
again, it's just faster drivers, basically.
Yeah, it's the top in the club.
Do you do like practice races and things like that as well?
Yeah, every Sunday.
All right, awesome. So talk me through this footage that you've shared.
Well, when
is
was
this the correct video?
It is. It's my
awesome.
My trainer Noah filming. I'm
nice.
the kart battling with him.
Ah, you're the car battling. I thought that was your POV. Okay.
No,
You're
no,
the
no.
drive in front.
This was like maybe 3 months ago, so quite a while.
Yeah.
I've improved a lot since then, but right here we're practicing defensive moves, as you probably can tell.
I was gonna say this is a battle.
Yeah. That's was gonna be my question. Like,
Yeah.
I'm usually really good at defending, but once it comes to defending, I know where to position my cart and like stop at the apex, but that's like the only thing. If I come into a sequence, I usually get switched back, but not
Yeah,
every time. But if it's the like my trainer who's also racing in like
Yeah.
DRKC, which is the Danish rental kart championship.
Yep.
So he's really good. Just gets past me. But,
So honestly,
but-
great question, because a lot of drivers will feel that overtaking is quite straightforward, but when I'm defending, how can I consistently stay ahead and not be, as you said, switchbacked on, or people pass you within a few laps? And that's because in karts we don't have the rear view mirror.
Yeah.
If you had the mirror, it'd help. Okay, the guy's close
Yeah.
now, I should defend. And in karts, it's all about instinct. So you have to judge based on the last time you looked over your shoulder, how far the guy is, and then you got to think, did he catch up? And it's all about awareness. So I think a great example is, number one, watching your trainer here. Is your trainer defending from you here? This footage.
I think right now he's just showing me lines. It was
He's
kind of
just showing you
mixed.
lines, yeah. Surely there was a clip earlier, right, where he was just defending,
Yeah.
because this is a good practical example of your track itself. And the thing is, the basics of defensive driving apply at any track. What you want to do is get into a rhythm of driving. It's called an alternative racing line, a different racing line. And normally it's going to be the opposite to what you're used to. So, for example, if you watch your trainer over here, is taking a lot tighter line because he's trying to defend the easiest way you can pass him. But what he does is he links that line up to the following corners.
This corner right here where he started defending, it's a bit funny. Can you scroll back a bit to
Let's go back.
Right here, you actually the normal line is like only maybe 1.5 meter away from the barrier. You don't go all the way to the left side.
Yeah.
Because if you would do that and get that exit speed, then the next turn you would have to lift. So you don't really get anything out of it.
Exactly.
So you're kind of always defending this corner.
You're always defending anyway. But it's interesting. What you got to do, number one, defend the inside line. And what you got to understand is, especially in rental karts, the moment the inside line is defended, the driver behind, you want to force them wide to the outside. And it's going to take a lot of practice and all. But as the lead driver, as the person defending, you have the right to control the speed of the race, control, where to position your car. As long as you're not weaving, zigzagging left, right, and obstructing the driver behind, it's legal to brake wherever you want, position the car wherever you want. So what we try to do in defensive driving is cover, number one, the switchback. So we force our opponent wide, stick to the inside. We try to brake earlier than normal. What we're trying to do is set up for the best possible exit. And when we go for the exit, we're now trying to power out to defend the next potential overtaking spot as quickly as possible. So it's all about cover the inside line and how can I get the best possible speed to then go and cover the next overtaking opportunity. And you'll see this is a nice example over here, because we can just see your card in the back. So what happens? He covers the first inside line. Now he gets onto the gas as soon as possible and covers the inside line for the next corner. And what he's going to do now, rather than opening up and going a bit to the left, he'll allow the driver behind to go to the outside. A better example, or a different example rather, I'm going to try and bring that up over here. Have you seen my video on defending?
Maybe.
How to defend in karting. Let me just share that with you.
Because I know how to defend. Well, I'm a good defender. The thing is, when people defend and I need to overtake, that's the tricky part for me.
Ah, you're asking about overtaking.
Yes.
Gotcha. This is still a good example. What we're trying to do is get around problems like this, where drive on the inside. Number one, they're comfortably ahead, and look how early they brake. They brake nice and early. They almost lure you to come alongside them. They give you hope. Oh, maybe I can go around the outside, and then they get the best possible way to switch back. You now got to focus on tricking them. You've got to go for dummy moves. So, for example, as the driver behind, you're going to be faster. You're going to be putting pressure on them. You got to fake going to the left, going to the right. That
I've got a good example. I'm gonna try and find it while you explain.
Yeah, go for it. I'd love to put some footage behind that. Faking moves is a great way. You pretend to dive bomb, then you back out, or you pretend to go for the left, but then you go to the right. Another way is, especially in rentals, is bump drafting, and that just basically gives them a tap onto the bumper to remind them that you're there. If you sit behind them and you let them do their race and defend this corner and that, they're not going to feel pressure. In rental cars, it's legal to bump, I say bump, not aggressively, but tap the guy from behind, because we've all felt that in races. Just by the guy feeling your presence there, feeling your cart behind, will put something else for him to think about, and he'll most likely make a mistake in the corner. So that's all you got to focus on. How can I make the guy in front make a mistake? Go for fake moves. Yeah.
Try and see the link I sent in the chat, and scroll to 7:26.
7:26. Let's go for it.
And you try and see my trainer Victor
Yes.
behind what kind of move he does. It's actually incredible. He goes wide behind him. He looks, goes wide. He goes wide, and then.
Oh, who's that in front?
That's my trainer.
Okay, and this is you driving?
No, that's well, this is my personal trainer, and that's my team trainer in front that overtook him.
So he's looking to the left, he's looking to the right, and he opens up a bit, and this guy catches him by surprise. Yeah,
because he went to the outside first.
That's it. He was faking the move, and this is a great example of exactly what we're discussing. So he thought, oh, I've got this inside line, I'm going to prepare to take a right, and then out of nowhere he comes through. And in rental carts, you know, that's considered legal. I mean, I know there's a bit of contact and stuff, but rubbing's racing, as they say, huh?
Yeah.
So what I would also say is, when you're stuck behind somebody, feel free to give them a tap here and there, not to move them out the way, but to let them know that you're there. You have to put pressure on them and wait for the mistake. Also, if you're stuck behind somebody, you need to look for common trends. So what's going to happen is you're going to realize, well, turn one, he's always having a slow exit. And out of turn 7 as well, I can maybe switch back. And if they keep doing that for 3-4 laps, you know, on the 5th lap, right, I got to be ready. I got to have a better exit out of turn 7 so I can switch back on him. Or out of turn 1, he's going to be slow, so I'm going to switch back on him. Similar to what has just happened over here. So what you got to do is, in your mind, be patient. Don't be too aggressive. But then it's all data that you're feeding. Okay, he's doing this, he's doing this, he's doing this, he's doing this regularly. And then when the moment is right, timing is right, send it. You got to go for these moves.
Didn't he just do the same? If you scroll back like 15 seconds, he literally did the same thing.
He literally did that. That's it. So this is a really good example.
It's literally just another POV of what we were talking about.
Absolutely. So again, Turn one, this is. He anticipates the driver to go wide. He commits the car, he switches back. He's still got the inside, so he can't close the door completely. So he gets pushed back out. Now he's going to have to be brave. He goes to the left and he cuts to the right. That's beautiful. That's the fake. Because the moment the driver in front is looking over his shoulder, he's on the left, he's on the outside. When he looks again, he's still on the outside. And finally, when he's ready to do the corner, he doesn't realize he's already sent him down the inside. So that's what I'd say if you're struggling with defending.
All right. So just do silly moves and try and get away with it.
Try and fake, number one. Number two, touching their bumper, letting them know you're there is a great way. And finally, follow them for a few laps and see what common mistakes they're doing. And be ready on the following lap to overtake them.
Right.
Sorry, somebody's unmuted there. Arib?
Hi.
Well, I'm going to come to you. Just give me one moment. So, Noam, when can you implement this on track again?
Next Sunday.
Next Sunday. Okay. Well, is that going to be a race that you can try to do, or will be training again?
It's a Grand Prix next Sunday.
So you can implement this for real.
Yeah.
Amazing, amazing. Well, let me know how it goes. And if you got any footage as well, be sure to send it over.
I gotta buy a GoPro and a mount soon so I can get
Amazing.
some real footage.
Yep, you're planning to get your own camera. That's awesome. That's going to be very valuable for you. And it'll be great for future track help sessions as well.
Yep.
Let me know how it goes. If you have any final questions before we go on to the next driver.
What is it?
Awesome. Well, you can stay on the live meet, or you can go ahead to the live stream and continue following. What's up, Arib?
Can you recommend a glove?
Say that again, Arib.
Yep. Wait.
Just repeat what you said.
Can you recommend what glove should I buy?
Gloves, you know, you need something with good grip. I've seen people who take heavy-duty gardening gloves, right? That's a famous story. One of my friends, he doesn't buy karting gloves, buys all the other equipment, but he sticks to these gardening gloves just because the grip is very durable. But if you're looking for something karting related, OMP, do some decent gloves. Sparko, Alpine Stars. And the latest trend is 273. 273 are doing these amazing designs. They've even done a Senate design recently. So whatever can fit in your budget, I'd go for that. Doesn't have to be over the top. Again, something with good grip on the palm. Hope that helps.
All right, thank you.
No problem at all. What's up, Manav? Welcome back.
Hey, how are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. I wish I had a surprise for you, but not yet. We're still working on it. How is your how's your preparation for next week going for the race?
Going well. I have put in pretty good laps on the track. I beat my best twice in the same day. So
Amazing, amazing. So
I
you're
am now the top 12th from 19th.
wow, that's excellent. That's some good progress then you've been making.
Yeah.
Do you think it's because you're going so regularly now, or maybe taking the training more seriously?
Yeah, I think it's just because I put in more laps, and at the same time there is a card that just got better. So in rental karting, one cart is better today, another is better tomorrow. That's kind of how it goes. But this one has performed consistently for a few people. So I saw them do good on that cart. I took it and
yeah,
went well.
and I think that's how you're gonna improve now. Just do
Yeah,
different
but
carts, trying new things out.
Sodies are pretty heavy, so I hope I get used to those during the Ironmans.
Definitely, definitely.
I do have a question, a small
Go for
question.
it. Yeah, go for it.
How do we mount GoPro on a air filter? Because that's what we got from Dubai Card Room. They said they won't allow on the helmet. We have to mount it on the air filter, and I have no idea what mount to get.
Yeah, a great question. And what you'll find is the flat GoPro mounts are quite reliable. What you got to do though is probably reinforce it with a cable tie. So if I can bring up an example, it's going to look something like this. You have a GoPro, right?
Yes.
So the flat mount is simply one of these. You probably have these in spare. These.
Oh yeah, the double-sided tape one. Yeah. I do
Yeah,
have that.
get the flat one though, not the curved one for the helmet.
Okay.
And then what you do is to reinforce it, try to put a small cable tie over it. And the cable tie you got to attach to the card somehow or through some of the holes, maybe on the filter itself. It won't affect it too much, don't worry. It's just to make sure this sticker doesn't fly off. The
So
cable
they
tie.
will allow me to. They'll allow me to put this on the air filter.
Yeah, you see, I'd check with the organizers as of this race because race to race they're unusual. They change the rules each time. Make sure to check with them beforehand, and if they object, say, look, how can we fit the mounts? Because there will be a certain way they'll allow people to put GoPros because I know they want to promote this race, so they're not going to object to you filming. But
they did say to put on air filter, but they didn't say how. And
Yeah,
I
yeah.
did think about the sticky mounts, but then I thought because the cards will keep rotating,
yeah.
how is it going to, how am I
And
supposed to? Am I supposed to
that's
carry like 20 mounts because there are 20 pit stops, so we'll be changing
no,
cards
no, no, no,
20
no, no, no,
times.
no, no, no. It's not going to be viable like that. An alternative way, I'm not sure if they're going to allow you to wear a mount itself. Is that within the regulations of this round? So like a chest mount or something. Technically not on the helmet.
That I may need to ask, but yeah, I'll check when I go there. I thought you would know, but yeah, sticky
Finally,
mounts.
yeah. Finally, what you can do is you're going to have these number plates with Velcro. And each time you rotate the card, you're going to have to take it off and put it on the new one. So you could try and stick the GoPro mount there and then adjust the angle of the camera. But check with the organizers if for this round they're going to allow that. Because as I said, round to round, they always change the rules. Because in previous races, there was no objection to helmet mount. I mean, you can even see the footage on YouTube. People have posted it. So, they bring independent judges and race directors for the rules each round. So each one will have their own way of running things. It's not going to be the same.
I think. Okay, I'll ask there. I have one more question about a video
Go for
that
it.
you made.
Yes, yes.
I think it was probably about neutral steer a while back.
Yep, neutral steer.
In one of those videos, I'm guessing it is that one where it is sort of a hairpin, but not a hairpin. It's kind of like a sharp left-hander.
Okay.
And you just go full throttle on it. Like you just flip the steering without any brakes and you rotate the cart and go flat out. So how does that work? Like,
let me actually bring that example up. There's a really good question. Was it slip angle or neutral steer?
One of the two, I guess. I'm not 100% sure, but probably neutral steer.
Let's share the neutral steer. This is probably one of the videos you were talking about. It starts with lean in, lean out, and then it's probably this corner, right? This left-hander?
I think so.
Yeah, a really good question, because as I explained in the video, what was happening before is the confidence was not there. So initially, I would be very smooth with my steering inputs on corner entry. What I realize is the smoother I am, the less the cart will rotate. So I have to end up either lifting or putting a bit of brake just to get through a tight corner like this. As I did more and more laps, what I found is going for the sharp early turn-in. So whenever you have a corner entry, go for a sharp turn-in. What this sharp turn-in does is it slows the kart down ever so slightly because there's friction against the tires, and it's a way to reduce speed. But it's a sharp early turn, and you'll see how the balance of the kart neutralizes, and I'm able to not only keep my steering wheel neutral, but also go flat out. A major factor is, as much as I'm turning sharply, try to go for a sharp turn-in and lean your body out. So you've got to combine the two. It's all about sharp early turn, and at the same time I'm leaning to, in this case, the right-hand side, yeah? If this was a right-hand corner, I'd sharp early turn to the right, I'd lean to the left. We're trying to use the weight to manipulate how the kart handles. And that's honestly universal for any corners which are similar to this, which are medium to low speed, where you're able to be on the limit of grip. That's where we preferably want to be.
So this is only for this kind of corner. It's not for maybe the tighter hairpins and all those.
See, tighter the corner, it's easier or quicker to brake and turn, right?
Yep.
Medium speed or low speed corners where your speed is 50%, 60%, then you don't have to worry about braking and lifting. It's quicker just to use your body weight.
So what do you mean when you say a corner with 50%? Do you mean a corner that is coming right after maybe a corner where you haven't gained enough speed so far?
Exactly. So the second part of a double hairpin, for example, that's a classic example. Or a corner which you brake for, and then just after that, there's another corner, like was shown in that video.
So these would mostly be the corners that you lift on.
Well, initially I would lift on, and then I realized just by being aggressive with the steering, that would reduce speed, and by leaning, that would add grip. So there's no need to lift at all in the end.
Interesting. Because I think just yesterday or 2 days before, Cameron Das posted a similar video comparing his lap times with some other car driver.
Yes.
And he showed that he slam brakes or threshold brakes, and that guy just goes full out with just steering inputs to rotate the kart, and
right,
he probably does it on every corner, is what I saw in the video.
Yeah. So you see, the type of technique you use, it will vary corner to corner. So it's not that throughout the whole lap I'm doing sharp turn and flat out and leaning. There'll be some corners where, of course, I'm braking. There's some corners I'm lifting. And there's some corners where I will be going flat out and doing that technique. It's about finding what works best with your corners and your track. And then being on the limit of grip. What you don't want to do is underdrive, where you're too smooth and there's lap time to be gained. The other hand, you don't want to do the opposite, which is overdriving, where you're sliding too much. It's all about finding that middle ground, and that's where we can identify neutral steer from.
Got it. Okay, that's all my questions for today. Thank you.
It's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for joining. All the best for the race next week, and we'll see if we're going to be catching up or not. It's been a pleasure, Manav. What we're going to do is we're going to go to Shayam's footage to round off for today. But before that, we got Abdullah. Welcome back, Abdullah. How are you?
Hello. How are you? I'm fine. Alhamdulillah. What about you?
Alhamdulillah, everything is good. I was just remembering you because you were commenting on TikTok, and you're reminding me that you've got your own kart. How has it been going these days?
Alhamdulillah, actually, I joined the meet because I wanted to show you my last footage.
Yeah, awesome.
I did few laps in Muscat Speedway, so I wanted to show you.
What we do you have a YouTube link to that?
I'm uploading it, but there's 10 minutes maybe. Yeah, sure.
Cool. We're gonna go over Shayam's footage And hopefully, if
Okay.
it's done by then, we'll go over
Okay.
yours, inshallah.
Have you seen my first run?
I took a look at it a few weeks back. Remember when you joined?
Yeah.
And maybe we can even go over that. But I think you've improved since then.
Yeah. You will see that inshallah in the video. And
Definitely. All right, let's go to Shayam, then we'll come back to Abdullah, hopefully. All right, Shayam, we've got a link of Goodwood Speedway once again. And talk me through this run, which is quali.
Yeah, so this was a quali lap that I did. I was about 4 tenths faster than the overall championship leader with this lap. So, but the issue is that I'm having is like this was a really good lap, but recreating it for the race. For some reason, when I go into the race, I've just had this issue where I'm not able to fully replicate it, and I'm losing lap time. So I just wanted to try to figure out like what I can do as like references, and that just to kind of keep it consistent, and also if there's anywhere I can improve here.
Yeah, really good question, because when we have qualifying and the race, track conditions will play a big factor. How far off were you in the race compared to the qualifying lap?
So I think I was maybe 3 tenths slower, but the track was maybe 3 tenths faster.
Really? It was faster in the race, you're saying?
Yeah, like the guys that I had out, like I told you, I had maybe 4 tenths on that guy, but then his fastest lap was I think a 39 flat. And then I had a 39.3 as my fastest lap in the race.
Which position did you finish in the race?
Luckily P1.
Okay.
Luckily P1, but it was close.
Same kart?
Same kart, yes.
Okay. How far were the guys behind?
I think by the end of the race, like there were points where they were on my bumper.
Yeah. That definitely will explain why. Were you doing a defensive line, let's say, in the race as well at some stage?
No, not too much. I'm like going to be honest. I just think that for some reason what I was using as my references, they were just slightly off.
Possibly,
because like for one of the turns I was going a bit more wide, and I tried to fix it. Like in my quali lap, I drove perfectly fine, but then for some reason I wasn't able to quite keep it the same. And I'm just trying to find these references that I can just keep consistent, because I haven't really had many references.
Of course. And you know what would be really good is if you can actually, did you record the race?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, it'd be good to actually have a side-by-side or a clip from the race and from quali, and actually put these laps side by side to see exactly what the differences will be. And you'll find whether it's the angle that you enter a corner from, whether it's wider, slightly tighter, the moment you press the brakes, is it a bit later, is it sooner? And what you'll then identify is exactly where you lost those 3 tenths. Personally, though, I think if the guys were behind on your bumper at some stages, you remember the race is a lot about the mental game as well. So once you feel the pressure from someone behind you, you instinctively are under threat, right? Somebody's trying to take your position, and it can alter your mindset at some stage. In terms of the driving itself, though, you want to have a baseline where the types of lines you're taking, the types of corners you're braking at, and braking points you're keeping, it shouldn't be, extremely challenging to achieve those. What you need to do is try to have a good overall average. And if you think about it, despite you being slower by 3 tenths, you were still able to win the race, right? But overall, it was 39.3s each time you were getting?
Yeah, and then in quali I had a 39 flat.
Yeah, but in the race,
actually, sorry. I actually was I think I was in the 40s, like around 40 seconds for most of it. Then when I realized they were on my bumper, I got it into the 39s, and then 39.3 was the fastest. But I still feel like it could have been faster when the other guys improved their laps, but mine went lower.
You see, if you're then chasing the lap time, I would analyze this quali lap to the T and really see exactly what you're doing, because technically this is the fastest lap and you've proven to yourself that you can achieve that timing. So what you want to do is analyze this absolutely to the T, and then try to replicate whatever you're doing into future sessions. Now, track conditions, yep, will play a factor. Maybe it didn't affect you so much in this race. The key corners that I've understood at Goodwood, though, are, for example, the corner coming up. Let's say this is what, turn 3 or turn 4 this is?
Turn 4, yeah.
Turn 4, that's the one. Turn 4, I think you've become a lot more aggressive on this lap, and that's won you a lot of time. Tap of the brakes, you can see mid-corner, bit of counter steer, bring the steering wheel back to the middle. At the apex, hitting it nice and close, and you're using plenty of the track on exit. How was turn 4 in the race? Was it similar to this?
It was, yeah, it was pretty similar, but I felt like I could have pushed maybe a bit more, but it was such a fine balance with where to brake. Like the brake point for turn 4 is very specific. So that's what I noticed.
In quali, what were you doing for your braking?
So I think it was maybe this third rumble strip, like the end of the I think it was the end of the first red.
Let's just try and freeze frame it.
But I'm not too sure.
Yeah, it's yeah, okay. I get what you mean from the red. So what we're doing is approaching over here. Just keep watching on the right. I know it gets cut off slightly because of the hand. So as it starts over here, boom, we can see a red patch in front. Clear markings like that, yeah, will help, definitely. Otherwise, you're just doing things on feeling, and then some laps it's early, some laps it's late. Try to work with that. I think one thing you're doing over here is trying to induce some oversteer. So what you've done is gone for an early, sharp turn, and you can see how put a high amount of steering angle in. What this is going to do now is rotate the rear end of the kart, combine that with braking as well. So mid-corner, as you put your foot back on the gas, now you're getting a bit of counter steer. This means you're right on the limit of grip. You continue that all the way to the exit of the corner. So, number one, I'd say keep the braking point at the first red mark, but also just before the curb or just as the white starts, you can see just on this side of the screen, sharp early turn. This is a real game changer. This allows you to be aggressive on corner entry, rotate the kart, slow it down to an extent, and get on the gas soon. Then we obviously have turn 5, which is the hairpin we're coming up to. This is a crucial part at this track. What was the braking reference here?
I think this was my most problematic corner, because on this lap I nailed it, and like the kart moved itself to the the end of the track on exit. But a lot of times when I try to do it now, I'm not like pushing the kart as hard as I can.
Gotcha. If you just observe what you're doing with your pedals, number one. So we're approaching the left-hand curb. Sharp brake, sharp turn. And you can see, once again, trying to induce oversteer. So what this will cause, sharp brake, sharp turn, is you to then correct your steering input because the rear end is now rotating. Slight bit of counter steer. Even mid-corner as it gets a bit bumpy. I'd say this is a decent effort, but maybe you could have even been a bit closer. I don't know how it looks in real life compared to thing, but that's not a bad effort. What I've established is, in terms of the actual apex point, you went middle apex over here. Technically, this is late apex. So middle apex seemed to have worked to then throw you back to the exit, as you're saying, naturally. So one more time. Sharp brake, sharp turn, mid apex, and then just letting the car glide out to the exit. So again, this is a classic case of being aggressive on corner entry. Brake, turn, gas. So as you apply the gas, feed the gas now. That's where you get that counter steer mid-corner. And you're basically keeping that momentum and the reps high. So not bad. I would continue doing that and use the outside marker as a reference, because as you approach it on the left, as the curb starts, let's say 1 or 2 feet later, then you brake and turn.
So what should I be using, like, in terms of the reference on maybe the rumble strip?
Yeah, you see the start over here. It's not very clear, but it starts to open up this portion. So just as you pass that, so I passed it, and now I'm going to start braking and turning.
Okay.
What you'll notice is it's quite early in the corner, so you have to induce high amount of steering angle, hard brakes, so then you can almost glide the kart through the corner like that. Coming on to the exit now. So we got the final sector coming up. And this corner is a lift or flat out, or is this a brake as well?
I think I took this one almost flat out.
Almost flat out. Excellent. So in slow motion again, wide entry, sharp early turn. That's been the trend throughout this lap so far. Bit of counter steer. Coming back out wide. If we're really going for small improvements as well, I'd say, try to get closer on this occasion to the apex. It's not visible, but use the white line as a reference. My front right tire needs to be alongside that white line. That's something minor there, which you can possibly look into. Closer you can say to the white line, the shorter the distance is going to be then to the exit after. I like how you're using all of the track on exit. This is awesome. Using a bit of the outside curb. Now the final tricky portion, over the crest, keep it left and then flick the kart right. I love the early turning, get rotation. And I think you gained a lot of time over here. This was a really, really nice effort of this final part. From the left, flick it to the right, put the gas back down. And the kart just looks like it's flowing. There's no stop-start. And just one more time, if you take a look through over here, we've got the last braking point. So are you basically tapping the brakes over here? Or even gas?
I'm just doing a lift.
Just a lift. Lift, get close to the inside, and just let the car flow. One key thing I can notice here is as the curb on the left starts to flow, and it just ends now, watch your steering wheel go from neutral position. Now you start preparing to turn to the right. It's all about that early, sharp turn, get rotation in the car. Controlled really well there. Final corner, I mean, there's not much to it. It's about the placement of the car, hugging the left-hand side, keeping your foot pinned to the gas, and then across the line. If you're looking at certain reference points and markers, then let's just quickly recap. We said that for turn 4, let's use the outside rumble strip. As soon as it begins, go for a sharp turn in, and maybe on the red block, go for your brake. Love how you're able to carry a lot of speed on entry. Same thing goes for the hairpin as the rumble strip starts. A couple of feet later, sharp turn, hard brake. Try and get closer to the apex as well over there. Next turn, sharp early turn, maybe a brief lift. Make sure you get close to the white line, and then glide the kart back out wide. Final sector, I see you're doing absolutely perfect. Keep this up. Hug the left-hand side as the curb on the left ends. Flick the kart back to the right, whether it's a brief lift or brake you're doing, keep that up as you turn. And then just let the kart roll over here. That's a superb lap, which will hopefully, I reckon, could get into 38s. You're nearly there at 38.
So actually, I was into the 37s when the weather was a lot better, but now 39 is about the limit just because of how cold it is now. Because now it's maybe about 10 degrees, usually like the track, like around the track. So I think 39s are around the limit now for the colder
We're in
days.
winter.
Yeah.
We're in winter. What I do is try and compare lap timings month to month now. Of course, 37's ideal, sun's out, really, really good grip. But for this month, I think you're setting the pace, right? Your fastest drive, one of the fastest on track.
Yeah.
Excellent. 38 is possible. I think it's possible if you can put this lap together. As I said, everything looks good there. And I love the change in driving style. You're becoming a bit more aggressive now, but controlled aggression.
Yeah.
So keep that up. When are you going to the track next?
I think it's next should be next week or after.
Awesome. Well, try and get some footage of that and try and implement what we discussed over here today. And let me know how it gets on in terms of lap time.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, thank you so much.
No worries at all, Sham. We're just going to round off for today. It's always a pleasure to have you on. We're going to round off with Abdullah today. Abdullah, is your footage ready?
Yeah, it is. I will
Amazing.
send you the link of the both. My first run and the last one.
Let's go for that.
Just give me a bit. Okay.
What's up? Just before you go for that, I'm going to open up your link. What's up to the new viewer who's just joined? Can you hear us? I'm not sure what your name is. Can you hear us? Let's just share the screen whilst we're at it. No worries. All right, we're going to go to Abdullah's footage. Then anyone new who joins, we're going to have to discuss after that. So, Abdullah, what car did you end up buying? Is this a Biralat?
Yeah, Rotax Senior.
Rotax Senior, wow. And how's it been?
Great, actually. It's fast.
Honestly, this is one of the best tracks you can do owner karting at because you've got so much variety of corners. You've got long straights, you've got fast corners like this turn one coming up. Just trying to think which layout you're doing. You're doing the shortened layout.
The classic one, yeah.
The classic, that's it. It's still fun nonetheless. You got the more technical section, which is coming up over here.
The hill.
The hill with the 2 hairpins, and then it gets even more technical through this part. But really, really awesome place to do your practice. How regularly do you go then to this track?
Weekly.
Every week, excellent.
Yeah.
Do you drive with any other people on track, or you just go alone?
Actually, last time I was with the 2 guys.
Yeah.
Manaf al-Blush, if you know him.
Yeah, Manaf.
Yeah.
Send him hi next time you see him. Send him my regards.
Inshallah. So this was my first run, actually.
And how old are these tires? How used are they?
They're used, actually, and they're hard because it's I don't know. Yeah, they're used.
Honestly, tires make the biggest difference when you're doing owner karting like this.
Yeah.
Because the drop-off in performance and grip will amount to, in terms of lap time, 2, 3, 4 seconds I've seen. So the driving style will change when you have brand new tires, when you have medium used tires, and then completely old tires. But I always encourage drivers, even myself, I try to use my tires until the very last moment, because it just teaches you to be control the gas carefully, control the braking carefully, and be a smoother driver. So, use it as a challenge. But what you need to understand is there's going to be less grip. So there's going to be more sliding. You've got to be a bit more cautious with your driving, specifically on the corner exit. So what happens, the entry, you can brake, you can come to the apex, but it's on the exit when you try and put the gas again, that's where the kart slides a lot, there's less grip. So you got to delay when you put the gas. But overall, in terms of your driving style, no, I think it's a solid improvement. Like from when we first met in Lusail, like many months back, this is amazing to see you doing owner karting, because you've made a lot of progress. the key now is going to be, competing against yourself. So currently, what timings are you doing? What lap times are you?
Actually, my best lap was, I guess, 44.2.
44.2. Okay. And what did you begin with? The first few timings?
Maybe 49.
Yeah, 49s. So
Yeah,
you've
actually,
really brought it down.
this video was 47, I guess, 46, maybe something like that.
47, 46s. Gotcha. A couple of things generally that you can try to, implement next time you go out on track is, I want to go over actually the track map before we do that. So let's just switch. Let's go to Moscow. There we go. All right. When we have the classic layout, we're doing something like this. So reason I'm highlighting this whole track is there's many breaking points on this track. So for example, you can say this is one, this is another one, this is another one, this is another one, this is another one, and finally you have the hairpin over here. Sometimes turn one, depending on your tires. Normally a lift is enough, but sometimes if your tires are. Whenever you brake in the kart, this time we can be aggressive with the brakes. We can brake hard with our initial pressure. So if this is a braking chart, we try to brake as hard as possible initially. We try to listen for that sound where the tires are scrubbing a little. When you hear that sound, that's what we call the biting point. So the tires are gripping completely. And now, after you hear the sound, that's when you slowly come off the brakes. It's what we call trail braking. So you're releasing your foot slowly. So initially, you're going to have lots of pressure. You wait for the sound. Is it scrubbing? And then you slowly release your foot off the brakes. And that applies for every corner. So this one, anytime you press the brakes. Another thing, though, to note, and specifically about the lines and things like that, is overdriving. So if we take this lap in isolation, for example, we got turn one over here. And turn one, you always want to go fast. Sometimes it's better to lift off the gas, even press a little bit of the brakes. Make sure our steering wheel is straight all the time. The moment we start counter steering, correcting like this, we're going over the limit, and then we end up sliding a lot. So what happens is we lose time, we lose speed, and then in the mid corner, look, we have to start correcting like this. All you've got to do is just slow it down. That's all. So for example, for the first corner, if you look at your feet, you're 100% on the gas, 100%, maybe a little lift, and then you go back on the gas. So what I would tell you to do is turn one, you have this, it's not clear now, but in the daytime it's yellow, blue, right? You have this. So at the beginning of the yellow, blue, just start the lift. And we call it in racing lift and coast. So what lift and coast means is there's no gas and there's no brake. You're simply rolling the kart. So one more time. This is the yellow and blue. Release the gas, no brake. Just coast the car, roll the kart into the corner. And then when you feel the grip, you slowly put the gas again before the corner. And then you'll get rid of this excessive sliding and things like that.
Okay, I actually fixed that. You can see the second video. The last
yeah, let's see where you sent that. Is it on Google you sent it?
Yeah.
I was just gonna say this is a longer video. This is amazing. So here you're probably gonna be a lot smoother.
Not this one. The next lap.
The next lap. Let's go to the next lap. I was thinking because that was a 1 minute video. I was I knew it was the wrong one I was looking at. Yeah, let's just put this in slow-mo over here now. So again, turn 1, lifting, look at that, nice and early on the lift. Smoothly put the gas down. Yeah, staying within the track. That's awesome. So much more control this time. Coming up to our braking point now, just watch your feet again. Hard on the brakes. And then you're slowly getting back onto the gas. So when we talk about the braking technique, we said the initial pressure, it should be hard. And then as we come closer and closer and closer to the corner, we slowly release. And at the corner, now we should have the gas again. Line looks good, not bad. Coming up to the hairpin now. Wide entry, it's nice. Over here on this lap, you're releasing the foot off the brakes, then going for releasing your foot off the gas, then going for brakes. What I would say in this corner, carry maximum speed until maybe halfway on this yellow and blue. And at the halfway, then you can press the brake hard, again, as we said, and slowly release as you get close to this corner over here. And this corner, try to close the gap. So try to be as close as possible in the inside. If we want to look at the line we're trying to take as well. So this is the first hairpin. Halfway down, hard brake, release the brake. Now we put gas. And in the corner, we're going for what we call a late apex. So any corner you can take into 3 parts. So this is what we call early. And this is what we call middle, because this is the middle of the corner. And then this is late. So the reason why we want to go late in this corner is because of the second corner coming. Now, this is a typical double hairpin corner. So by coming wide, you skip the early apex, you skip the middle apex, you go a little late. You can actually go mid to late here. Don't go early, but go mid, I'd say mid to late. So it's a sharp late turn, mid to late. Now for this corner, we are on the left side. We have space, to go from left to right. Otherwise, if we go too early, we go early, then we're going to go wide, and now we're on the right side, and now it becomes too tight, this corner. So just delay the turn in like that. The line looks good on your side, on your video over here.
Yeah, can you check out all the laps and,
I'm going to go through that.
Analyze
I'm going to go through that. I'm just going over some basic pointers over here for you.
Yeah.
And then we're going to watch some more laps. And yeah, we're coming through the second part of the hairpin. Again, one more time. We've got the fast right coming up. What I'd encourage for the fast right, have a wide entry. So this corner, what we want to try to do is enter as wide as possible. This is our apex. This is our exit. So as you come out the hairpin, stay left, stay left, stay left, stay left, and then go for your brake. You can go for your brake, 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 and then get back on the gas, something like this. So we're using all of the track. 1, 2, 3, like that. Final few corners coming up. So second to last braking point over here. Same thing for this corner. Wide entry, hard brake. That was a bit of a lock up this time. So sometimes when you press the brakes too hard, you lock up like that. That's what happens. Always find the limit. It's good. And it's good to spin out sometimes. Then you know the limit, Otherwise, you will never know the limit. This last corner is very nice because I don't know if they have the line on the track yet. Is there a red line or did they remove it? There should be some red line.
They removed this actually. Yeah.
This one over here. This is a nice time when you can start braking. So what we do is hard brake.
When I see the line.
When you see the line. And what we are doing over here, you can even see on Google, you can see this is the line that we're using for braking. So we pass the line, we brake into the corner, and there's 3 parts. So this is the first one: entry, apex, and this is your exit. So entry should be wide, we brake. Apex is where we put the gas. So this is all brake. Then we go on the gas, mid to late apex, and then we go out back out wide. So 1, 2, 3. Combined all of the dots. Use all of the track like that.
Okay.
Just to conclude, though, I want to watch some of your fast laps. Let's try and put some volume on also for this. And very nice sound, the engine. we love the sound of this one. How many hours has the engine done?
13 maybe. 12,
Okay,
13.
not bad. Yeah, not bad. So how is the maintenance? You have to change stuff every time, or?
No, actually, only chain looping and
Yep,
yeah, that's all. New
that's about it.
tires.
Do you have a mechanic there who helps you with setting up the cart and things, or you do it yourself?
We have 3 actually.
You have 3
Just for
mechanics.
free, yeah.
Oh, you're lucky. Then you have and they're very, very good mechanics. They know these carts.
Yeah, actually they are. And we have a shop here, you know?
Yeah, exactly. So if you need any parts or anything,
Yeah,
you can just buy from the shop. No, that's excellent. What you need to do now is just keep up the laps and the practice, and then try to join some practice race. Do they have any races or practice race happening?
Practice race. I guess we have the UAE RMC.
Yep, that's
November.
one option. Yep.
Yeah, and we have the Rotax Oman challenge.
Rotax Oman. When is Rotax Oman?
It's the RMC.
So basically, end of the year, I think in.
No, actually, they do it every year, 3 times maybe, or 4 times, something like that. A lot.
They have a few rounds. That's very good. Are you planning to join one of those in the future, maybe?
Inshallah, when I get better.
Inshallah, no. Keep up the practice. When are you going to the track next?
Next week.
Next week. Excellent. Well, try and get some more footage if you can. And are you planning to come to Qatar soon?
Inshallah, in the winter, maybe.
Inshallah. No, let me know. You can come down. You can drive my cart, hopefully, and you can. We can do some coaching for you at the Lusail track, inshallah. Yeah.
It's a pleasure, inshallah.
That sounds good. So from online, we can do in person, hopefully.
Okay, inshallah.
It's been a pleasure, Abdullah. Send my regards to everybody in Oman, and look forward to welcoming you guys again soon. I think we're going to call a wrap for today's session. We had lots of people join today, lots of new members on the academy as well. And I'm just finishing off the live chat. It looks like we're up to date with all the questions. Anyone who requested to join the academy today, you've been admitted. As we said, every Sunday at 6 p.m. GMT, or every Saturday now, a new track help session at 6 a.m. GMT. Feel free to join in. Share your footage that you'd like to review. Get your track maps in if you need some help on that. Otherwise, we're going to meet up in the next session. Until Saturday, guys, we'll see you all then. Take care. Good night.
Good night.